Let's talk about Notion. If you spend time to manage your tasks, you are not doing your tasks. Maybe you don't know it, but Notion has a crazy valuation of multiple $1 million. And not every productivity app has this kind of valuation, so I wanted to tell you why it's the case, if you wonder. The case with Notion is similar to what happened with Slack, really, although I think that Slack tried to solve a problem when Steven Butterfield created it. I was one of the early adopters of Slack, and I can see how Slack could be seen as a useful tool at the time. It has become a hindrance for any corporate worker today, but it's how Slack evolved. It's a bad way of evolving in some ways. But Slack tried to solve a very, very specific problem, which is to not use email for internal communication in a company and for informal communication in a company. Whereas with the Notion, it's a kind of a different story. And don't get me wrong, I was very, very happy when Notion was created. And I was one of the early adopters of Notion also. And there is a vlog episode when I told that I'm completely blown away how Notion is good and how it can replace multiple tools. And again, the way I see it today is slightly different, because Notion has evolved into something that is preventing people making the real work. You can watch my vlog episode about how productivity apps are making us less productive. This is something that is related to this episode. When you look how Notion is constructed, and when you look also how people who are making content around Notion treat it, I understand why Notion is so popular today, and I understand why Notion has this kind of valuation. Notion is a canvas. If you start Notion for the first time, it's a blank page and you can do pretty much anything with it. You can create Kanban boards, you can create documents, you can create tables, databases. It's your choice. And I was using Notion also for me personally, and then in the company in which I'm working in, and it served a purpose. We were able to do things with Notion that we wouldn't be able probably to do with any other tool we had at our disposal. But what I have seen very, very, very rapidly is that Notion requires a lot of time for managing work inside of Notion. And I think it is made by design, by Notion developers and by Notion management, in order for the app to feel sticky and to accustom people to doing certain things. And Notion disguises it with templates, with onboarding, which is meant to render this start a little bit easier. But really what is happening is that you feel, oh, I can create my ideal productivity app that I dreamt of all my life. And instead of actually working on your tasks and on your goals, you start creating a tool for you. You see, you stumble upon Notion because you are looking for a way to manage work with your team or for yourself. If you look for such a tool, it means that you have the need for using such a tool right now, because if not, you feel and you judge that your work will be too difficult, or you will spend too much time on communication with your team and on doing things that should normally be automated. And instead of starting doing it, actually, You start building a tool inside of Notion, the project management tool of your dreams, created ideally for you, that only you can fine-tune like you like it. And this is exactly the same way as Slack has evolved. At the beginning it was just a communication tool, and right now it's something that is sticky, it's integrated, you can use it for a lot of things, to retrieve data from other applications, to make dashboards, to store files, you name it. There's people that are really accustomed to the search, how it works inside of Slack, and they prefer this kind of search to Google search or to the search inside of the OS of your computer. And those apps are creating habits for people. It's like, if you eat sweets, it creates dopamine in your brain. Using those apps also creates dopamine in your brain. And I have felt that with Notion. It was, oh my god, I can build my perfect mix of Kanban and Todoist and Google Docs with a layer of communication on top of that. How wonderful is that? Well, it is not, because I've spent 3 weeks fine-tuning my Notion dashboard, and I was less productive during those 3 weeks. And then, when my dashboard was fine-tuned, I saw that Notion is slow, that Notion does not have the basic task management options. I was really not productive because I was using Notion. When you look at Thomas Frank or at other YouTubers and content creators that make content around Notion, you can see that they spend a lot of time thinking about processes, thinking about how they can structure their work inside of Notion. And of course they will tell you, yeah, but we need to go to those tasks and to copy them and to make templates and to work with the tool in order to be able to see which tasks we have to do today, etc., to revisit them so that we can really be productive and so that we don't forget anything. But it's all rationalization. So this is very bad, because creating tools just to make them sticky, just to accustom people to using them, just to make so that people think that they are unable to function without the tool, it is bad idea, it is bad design, because people, humans, have evolved in order to be able to adapt themselves to changing environment, to different seasons, to different temperatures, to different surroundings. And then now, inside of a computer, you create tasks that are just hijacking the low-level stuff inside your brain, just so that you come back to the tool and feel that you cannot be productive without the tool. And you can see that those content creators also, they just capitalize on the popularity of Notion, but really, do they help? I don't think so. Do their content is making life easier? No, it's just a rationalization. You start using Notion, you see that you burn time to use Notion, and then you say, well, yeah, but Thomas Frank, he's got millions of subscribers on YouTube. He must know something I don't know. He's also using Notion. Maybe if I put a little bit more time in Notion, maybe if I tweak a little bit more all the systems, maybe I will become more productive. And then a year passes and you don't reach your goals. And then a year passes and you say, well, it's 3 years, I'm not more productive. Why is that? And believe me, I was using Notion close to a year. I was using Asana. I know how it works. The last 20 years I'm optimizing my productivity systems in order to see what works and what doesn't. And I can tell you, if an app feels sticky, it's not for your good. You will be a victim of that. That's it.